Ver este vídeo. O homem que foi banido de Vegas por ganhar 11 milhões. De dólares, atenção.
A high-stakes gambler who won $11.5 million gambling one night in Las Vegas. And soon after, he was
Está um bocado baixo, não? Tá bom, de som.
from nearly every casino here
Qual foi a
for
prenda
making too
do
much
Rui?
money.
Nenhuma,
But if
e não vou
casinos
dar,
let millions of
e não
people
vou dar
come
nenhuma.
to Vegas and lose all of their money, why won't they let you stay and win?
11
Before
milhões
we
parece que
hear
nem bem
Mickey's
sabe tomar.
story, I met
Porque ele se calhar foi tipo com 10 euros, mano. Se calhar ele não tinha dinheiro, bro.
up with high-stakes slot
E a última vez
machine
que lhe dei
addict Vegas
flores,
Matt to
ela
find out
deitou
why
fora.
he spends thousands every day playing slots.
Boys, what are you well known for?
Degen gambling.
Why are we at the high limit section?
Can't win big unless you bet big, you know what I mean? Just took like $2,000. So let's give it a shot. So we're betting $50 a spin. We need 6 of these balls. It's flag. Come on.
Olha o Samurai!
I mean, I certainly am never like gambling away my mortgage payment, but I love this rush.
Right after 5 straight losses,
Keep
Matt won 6 free games
gambling.
and then a $1,600 bonus.
This does not happen all the time. But like I always say, you know, the only way you really truly lose is if you quit.
And 5 spins.
They know what they are doing, bruh. They fucking know what they are doing, mate. They fucking know, bruh.
Later, he was up another $3,000.
So is that skill? You guys seem pretty desensitized. This is not bad, right?
No, this is actually really good. On slots.
Foda-se, Zé! Zé! Obrigado, Zé, pela tua raid, mano. Dá os parabéns aí à Míssil, que ela fica mesmo muito feliz quando lhe dão os parabéns, a sério. Ela faz anos hoje. Já está confirmado que os Shaw receberam invite para o Close Qualifier. É verdade, sim senhor, é uma puta upsi. Os Shaw estão aí no Close Qualifier. Ei, nem mandas boa. Oh, Chacha, não vi, mano. Boas, Tiagovski. Como é que é, puto? Não vi, mano. My bad, gang. My bad, bro. Oh, Chacha, mano, foi sem querer, puto. Sabes que eu adoro-te mesmo muito, ok, mano? Sabes que para além de tu adorar mesmo muito, mano, desejo-te tudo bom e do melhor, mano. Manda aí o vídeo, arroz doce. Eu dou react, mano. Pessoal, já viram o cabelo do, do Chacha? Tipo, imagina, não vale dizer que sim e não terem visto. Vocês têm que ir ao canal dele e vejam a VOD dele, ou um clipe recente dele. Chacha está mesmo cabelinho na régua, está mesmo tranquilo, o gajo. Yeah, vamos ver este, mas só no fim. Portanto, vais ficar aí à espera. Estou-te já aqui a avisar. Tá, pois está, mano. Vais ficar aí à espera, mano. Não vais esperar? Então, mano, olha, mano. Não vou ver já. Ficas aí com o canal do YouTube, eu ponho a minha react no canal do YouTube e vês por lá. Fica a publicidade feita também, mano. Porque eu sei que trabalhar, mano. Eu estou neste meio, eu sei bem como fazer com que as pessoas estejam sempre... esquece.
Within 10 minutes,
So.
Matt was up $3,000, and then he got hit with a few losses.
We got absolutely nothing.
So you just lost $200.
I'm not feeling this. Let's just go a couple more spins though, just in case I was in.
And another big loss.
And so we just lost $1,000.
A $200 loss.
Ei,
This machine is
mas
not.
espera aí, podes filmar sempre, tu gravas e fazes live ao mesmo tempo? Yeah? Estou a chegar ao office, já falamos. Mano, e falamos, mano. E vais ver, mano. O office só fica onde? Gaia. É proibido filmar slots em casinos. Pois, eu sei, Novo. Por isso é que eu estou a fazer mesmo esta pergunta, estás a perceber? Que eles deviam estar mesmo ali sneak peek, já?
Not hot come out. Yeah, this is horrible. So we just lost $500. Will I quit? No. If you're on a roll and you're winning, you don't want to quit because you gotta feed that roll. And if you're really getting wrecked and you're losing, you don't want to quit because you're bound to start winning.
Okay.
So we've come to the conclusion that you
never
can
stop.
just never stop.
That was right.
Keep
as he saw a
gambling.
golden opportunity in the distance that might just end his losing streak.
Oh my God! Jump on. Did they leave this? They left it? Oh my God! Oh, they left this with 47 blues.
When you hit this bonus, you're gonna get 47 free games.
Ui, apanharam os nubas do casino, mano.
The less intelligent gambler had left this fat blue piggy ripe for the popping, which would give Vegas Matt here 47 free spins, which might just allow him to win the jackpot.
We won $1,800. That's a good bonus for sure. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So we're up $5,332.
The Sun Tzu and Alexander the Great of gambling back here. These guys were good.
But before you
Depois
go
já
to your
coloquei o
local
pessoal,
casino
deixa.
and gamble your life savings on slots,
Ah, mano,
I want to
esquece isso,
introduce you to Mike
Porque ninguém sabe, ninguém estraga, pô.
Lost 6K last weekend. Been going fucking bad.
I flew to Sacramento to hear the story of how Mike ruined his life gambling.
When did you start gambling? At what age?
Well, you know, the gambling fascination started probably at the age of about 8. I remember my parents, you know, gambling a lot. I started doing poker tournaments when I was about 16. And then once I turned 18, there was a casino in town. It's called Jackson Rancheria Casino. That was 18 and up. So as soon as we found that casino, we started going there. And that's when the real gambling stuff pretty much started with me.
And how does it progress over time?
You know, when I started, it was small stakes. It was like $5, $10, you know, little home games, playing with the boys. You know, I was young when I started at 16, but when we were at the real casino at 18, got myself a job, so I had a little bit of money coming in. $6 an hour back then, so it wasn't much, but I didn't have any bills. I'm young. I'm still living at home with my mom. So, you know, I take the money, try to go gamble, and it's just that high that you get when you get this easy money. You know, nobody wants to go to their 9-to-5 job and work.
Sure.
You know, that's the problem about gambling, you know.
Okay.
I remember there was times my dad, he would take me to
Boas,
Lake Tahoe.
Vader, como é
My
que é,
mom
maninho?
used to know about this, and it'd be late at night, you know, probably 12 in the morning. And he'd go in there and play blackjack. I'd sleep in the car, and he'd come check on me, you know, every couple hours, make sure I was still alive. So, you know, the gambling addiction, I guess you could say it runs in the family. Ran into my big problem. I was about 21 years old. I found out what online gambling was. So I started betting online, sports betting,
Nuggets!
blackjack. I was getting lucky. You know, I turned my $500 into a couple thousand. So here I am, 21 years old. I have a $10,000 credit card. I just got a brand new apartment. I got a 99 Eclipse convertible. So I was on top of the world. At the time, I was working at Olive Garden, waiting tables. You know, I'd work the morning shift. I'd maybe make $50 in tips a night. Finally, I just said, you know, why am I gonna come here for $50 when I can just go home and gamble on a sports game and make $100, $200 real quick? So I quit my job at Olive Garden. Did that for about 2 years.
About $11,000 here.
Que grande
Fucking
rei!
amazing here. Diller's fucking amazing. Let's give her a $100 tip. That's for you.
And then everything just went to shit.
All right, so I'm out the cage right now. I got more than 4K. Why do you need my ID? Nah, just cash me out. She's on the phone about my $5,000 win. You guys don't make me sign anything when I lose money. All right, pay me out, please. Please. It's $5,000. Anyways, this is the life of a gambler, bro. Fuck, dude. You guys are a piece of shit. You know, honestly, like, I deserve better, dude.
The online transition to me going to Reno and Lake Tahoe, I felt like that's where I started losing, at the casinos.
Okay.
Start giving you free rooms, they start paying your gas to come, and you think you're...
What? Mano, ele estava mesmo. Já lhe lavaram o cérebro, bro. Bro, o gajo pagava-lhe quartos e, e o gasóleo para ele ir ao casino.
on top of the world.
I just woke up and Thunder Valley called. Ooh, eating today, boy. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
Night
You
vibes.
know, having a good time. You know how we do it. When I got a buzz, I gamble better. You gonna gamble, Daniel?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. And they treat you great, you know, they treat you like a king. And,
Claro,
just
mano,
going
porque
there
eles sabem que vais
probably
perder o
every
dinheiro todo, mano. Acho que é por causa disso que eles te tratam bem, mano.
weekend, but the losses
Acho que
were
estás assim
starting to wipe
enganado.
out. My bankroll, like I said,
Olha o acéfalo! Olá, acéfalo, tudo bem, puto? Olha o acéfalo, mano. Como é que é, mano? Tudo bem, puto? Feliz Natal, acéfalo. Tudo bom para ti, mano. Tudo bom para ti, eu acéfalo. Adoro-te mesmo muito, mano. A sério, mano. Tu és tudo para mim, mano. A minha vida resume-se a tu falares aí no chat, mano. Obrigado, acéfalo.
I was at about 15,000. Before I knew it, everything was gone. I didn't have a job. They got
Percebes
my car.
inglês ou acéfalo? É que senão eu troco já de vídeo, se tu não percebes, mano. Tinha a mijar, mas eu tirei as roles a toda a gente, mano.
Gonçalo Fernandes,
Em
grande
dezembro
abraço.
ninguém tem nada, mano. Só o Nabu e o Nightbot.
Não, foda-se, tem uma crise de ansiedade, meu.
I just started this new job. You know, I was going to try to get some money together, but I was probably about 5 or 6 months behind. Even to pay it off, it was going to take a couple months just to get back on track. But with interest, I was at 16,000. Can't make the minimum payment. Had to move back home with my mom. Was collecting unemployment for about 6 months. I always wanted to start a landscape business, so that's what I did. I moved home. I started a landscape business. You know, now I'm running a 6-figure business. I have 7 employees. Life's good.
That's awesome.
You know, I'm really blessed, and things are good now.
How much money do you think you ultimately lost gambling lifetime?
I would say anywhere between 200,000 and 300,000. You know, I've gone broke probably over a dozen times. Risked my rent money to gamble a couple times. But yeah, there's been a lot of bad times.
Sure.
Gambling will just tear you apart if you're not careful. These casinos aren't built on winners. People get divorced, people have lost the house, cars, you know, you name it.
Years later, do you still gamble?
I gamble every single day. The first thing I do when
Que é que anda a rei, mano? Ele até anda a lição de moral, mano, e depois manda todos os dias, yeah.
Yeah, bro. So if I lose $1,000, it's done, and it's just what I like to do. I guess you can call it a hobby. I do have anxiety still to this day, and I think it could be stemmed from gambling. And when you lose, that's when it kind of hits you hard sometimes, and you know you might get depressed, and then it goes away. You know, the next week comes and life goes on. You know.
And as Mike tried to warn against the evils of gambling, the casino security did
toalhas
not
como
want him
prenda.
to finish
Que
his
merda.
story and told us to leave and stop recording
Eu só costumo
immediately.
parar quando perco
Casinos
100
are
mil.
evil. Casinos are evil.
Turn it off now.
Casinos are evil. Yes. Mike was a clear example of just how bad gambling can be if you take it too far. Or was he simply just not made for the game? I met up with one of the best gamblers of all time, Mickey,
Quantas vezes o
who's
Bacana
been
ganhou?
banned from nearly every
Perdeu tudo,
casino
mano.
in Vegas after winning $11.5 million in one gambling session.
I'm not cheating, and if I was cheating, they definitely would have caught me by now. Then I must be doing something the casinos thought was impossible. I do have a plan that could bring every casino to their knees, and I may pull the trigger on this and watch these casinos burn.
And Mickey, how many people are banned from casinos like you?
In the fashion in which I am, there's only been 4 in history. My single biggest winning session was $11,526,000, and I averaged out to a net profit winner of $1 million a week for like quite the amount of time. Grew up with my grandparents who spent all their time in New York City card rooms, so my entire childhood and upbringing was just around cards and high stakes gambling. Started going to Vegas once a week just to party and be a degenerate and have fun, and I became a profitable gambler. One thing led to another, and then I became one of Vegas's biggest winners of all time. I won $1 million for Mike Malak, Logan Paul, and Ryan Garcia. Actually, on one of their YouTube episodes. I made money for Lil Baby, Rod Wave, YK Osiris, 2K Baby, Lil Keed, rest in peace, Drewski, Suicide Boys. So I learned that you can negotiate with every casino contingent on your buy-in and other factors. So it went like this. I had $200. I sat down at a blackjack table for $25 a hand. I ended up taking the 200 to 5K. I stopped at 5K and I took a break. I came back and I played a little more with the 5K, turned it to 13K. Took another break, played the 13. 13, I ran it up to 26,000. I took another break. I played with the 26,000 and I ran it up to something like 125,000. But I really had nothing left to lose. It was only a $200 buy-in. When I'm at the 125K mark, I went to another casino and I negotiated higher limits. I turned the 125 into 350. And I turned the 350 into 800.
Do you have a background in statistics, math?
I think it really was just in my blood. It's what I grew up with. The same some of the top musicians or top athletes. They were born possibly, with an above average ability, and they studied and practiced it their whole lives. And they just kept working and cultivating their profession.
Temos homem que nasceu para o gambling.
When you're gambling in Vegas full time, making millions and losing millions, are you addicted at the time?
No. Well, I think there's a difference between being addicted and being an addict. I would say that at worst, I have teetered on being addicted. There's a casual gambler, there's a social gambler, there's a hard gambler, which is what I ended up being, and a hard gambler, which is usually hard to tell the difference between a hard gambler and a gambling addict. They both exhibit all the same character traits. And the
ela anda com segurança, mano.
between the addict and the hard gambler is that the hard gambler can stop and stay stopped with the right external force. So if my girlfriend says, hey, I'm going to leave you if you don't leave this gambling table and make dinner, and the same situation happens to the gambling addict sitting next to me, I'm the only one out of the two of us making it to dinner. The addict's going to stay behind and lose the relationship.
Ok, então é isto que separa um hard gambler de um viciado. É que um faz o jantar à mulher e o outro não faz. Mas está-se bem. Podia andar. Quem tem 1 milhão numa mochila tem 2 milhões noutra, mano.
Full-time before being banned, Vegas.
Eu lembro no episódio que tinha que pôr a mesa e aí continuei a fazer gamble.
Would treat him like a king, enticing him to stay here 24/7 in the
Quem não tem mulher é viciado, pois é a conclusão que todos nós chegamos no final deste depoimento, não é?
Give you some pretty ladies to give you some sushi on the plane or what?
Yeah, they gave me a 200-passenger jet for myself, and I can use it as often as I want, as many days as I want, go anywhere I want with it. They let me have a residency in all the villas. Another casino gave me a Rolls Royce. They furnished
Rolls Royce, que é para ela poder mamar em paz.
Everything. their mind, they go, well, we spend $1, $2, $3, $4 million on amenities for him. He might lose 10 million, and they leave as a winner 6 million. So for them, you know, it's like an investment. But unfortunately, for them, it never paid off. I never lost it all back. So,
what are your thoughts on the whole online gambling scene right now?
I've spoken to every owner of every online casino in the world, and they all want to make a deal. They all
Tu já falou com o número, mano, do aposta aqui. Como é que é? Excelente, está tudo, meu rei. Estamos juntos, mano. Não queres dizer aí à malta, bro? E falou com a solverde.pt. Sim, deve ter falado. Já sabes, Acéfalo, se tudo na tua vida começar a dar errado, mano, fica um hard gambler, bro.
Conversions of new players. Every one of them has offered me like unbelievably substantial money.
Como é que é, amigo?
Contract has gotten so far where right before signing, I say I'm only signing this if you allow me to live stream me looking at the vulnerabilities and auditing your company. And that's the exact moment that the contract seemed to stop going back and forth and just die out. So I would take by process of deduction that they're fearful that I'll expose them for immoral, unethical, or unfair advantages against the player. I have no interest in causing anybody harm.
Got it.
I could have made so many millions of dollars by peddling garbage, promo on my Instagram. I've never done it. I've never done paid promo.
Olha, grande rei, mano.
I learned a lot from this man. He's more than a mentor. He's more than a gambler. He's the truth, bro.
With fans everywhere
Olha,
showing
apareceu.
love to Mickey, I wanted to see
Se calhar eu
if he
sou o
could show me
vosso
how
Mickey.
good he was at gambling at one of the few
Pois,
casinos
malucos,
in Vegas
exatamente.
that he wasn't banned from yet.
All right, we got 500 bones. How much can we turn this into?
It's either gonna be 0 or it's gonna be 2,500.
I'll do the gambling. You be my coach. How about that?
Whatever you want.
When you come to the casino, are you playing any of these games?
Slots?
Yes, sir.
Nah, never. And they're a huge disadvantage to the player. You are statistically likely to lose roughly 98% of the time.
Okay.
So you're always running at a net negative.
And it was time to test
Olha,
Mickey's
não joga em
skill and
slots.
see if he could make me unfathomable riches with only $500.
He's my coach.
All right, can I see your IDs first? Are you 30?
Am I 30? 30?
Well, you look like a...
Damn, that kind of hurt.
And so we warmed up with
Isto é bom
Pac-Man
sinal, quer dizer que
Poker,
ele estava
which is
bem
quite
conservado.
literally designed for people so drunk they can't make logical bets.
We have ace high, which beats her queen high, and then we have 2 pair, which beats her no pair. So we win.
Simple as that.
After doubling
Simple
our
as
money
that,
and
bro.
getting used to the cards with Pagao, we
Olha uma
went
Red
to
Bull.
blackjack to make some real money.
So why did you hit on the 16? What's the strat there?
After a few more games of blackjack, making the statistically correct decision every hand, we were up
1,310 because we also chipped out a bunch.
We nearly quadrupled our money.
Ele dá tipo nos dealers, mano. Que rei. Não dá para resgatar o sub até o final do ano, mano. Como assim?
What is our end goal right now?
To 5x, so we're trying to take that 500 to 2,500.
Make it happen.
And after a few tense games of blackjack and baccarat that they would not let us record,
Sadly, we did not lose everything. In fact,
Mas
how
o
much
gajo-
did we win?
Ele está a
5x,
fumar,
we
bro.
got 2,500.
The point of this was to show that we lose all our money. But sadly, Mickey's too good here.
That's exactly what we did. We stuck to schedule, and we won 2,500 from 500, just as we planned.
But for the average person gambling, that's probably not going to happen, right?
And that's why I was a little nervous to like play. I don't want people to think that it happens for everybody, that it happens all the time. I don't want people to see this and then be like, I'm gonna go spend my last 500 because it'll become 2,500. Way more likely that their last 500 becomes 0. If the game's supposed to be 50-50, then every player should win half the time and lose half the time. It makes perfect sense. But in real life, what happens is almost every person who plays Baccarat loses. How are they all lifetime losers in a game that should always make them break even? It's because the house is rigged.
How is the house rigged?
I don't want to share that
Okay,
information.
so these are exploits you found but are not publicly known?
Correct. The casino's pocketing 5% no matter what, knowing the player's going to win one day and lose the next. But in real life, what happens is they collect 5% commission and the players still lose anyway, which shows that the game is not 50-50.
You think the casinos are an evil business by nature?
I couldn't say anything more verbatim and more accurate. I think they're evil, sinful, dirty, dark places that are only built to destroy people in their lives. I think absolutely nobody should gamble. And if they're gonna gamble, despite my very clear warning, do not gamble. I think what they should do is they should look at
Pessoal, não façam gambling, mas agora venho o que interessa.
their budget and say to themselves, what would I spend on an eventful night out? I don't think nearly hardly anything positive has ever came out from gambling, but immense damage, pain, and hardships have.
in fact, Mickey even started a non-profit to help gambling addicts like Mike Malone.
Stop playing with me.
What is Shaken Hearts, your organization that helps gambling addicts and drug addicts do.
What it does exactly is when you go to our Instagram, you send a DM. In the DM, we're going to provide you a link, and the link gives you an opportunity to put a little more specific information for your exact scenario. And depending on whether you select mental health or drug addiction or gambling addiction, you get paired with a professional from that exact topic, and we help facilitate whatever it takes to get you the help. So we do everything totally free of charge. Everyone that
Olha
works
que
here is
rei,
volunteer,
grátis, mano.
and I was just really happy to be able to create something to just give back.
Wow. You shouldn't gamble. You're not built like him. He is him. Is that accurate?
I would like to say it in more humble words, but sure.
Go follow Mickey, Mike Malone,
Olha, mas
and
o gajo
Vegas
parecia
Matt.
gajo fixe, bro.
Link in the description.
Link de quê? Do Instagram? Olha, mas o gajo sem tanga, mano. É dos poucos cracudos. Nós já vimos vídeos destes. Eu refiro-me mesmo aqui ao Mikey. Este gajo é full cracudo. E efetivamente parece ser uma pessoa racional e extremamente bonita de se conversar, mano. Tendo em conta que é um cracudo, não é? Porque isto não é o normal. Tu já mandaste vídeos deste Tyler Oliveira antes?